Bob, Hob, and Nub versus the State of the Banks of Piddleston and the ASPCBBW, case number 426. See, once upon a time there were three... Okay, look, I can start the story with once upon a time, can't I? Especially since I'm the one telling the story here. Don't interrupt me, it's not polite form. So where was I? Oh yeah, once upon a time there were three siblings. Their names were Winkin, Blinkin, and... No, that's not right. John, Jacob, Jimheimer... No, that's not right either. I'll get it, don't rush me. Bob, Hob, and Nub, that's what they were. Bob, Hob, and Nub, hereafter referred to as the defendants. Hey, it's not my fault that their parents lacked motivation, is it? Their names weren't really that odd. What was odd about them was that they were pigs. Oh, not other and happily in the filth and mud like any other politician or anything like that. These pigs had style. They wore waistcoats of extreme unctitude and had watches on their watch fobs that hung at just the right angle to show the kind of pigs they were. They were up-and-comers, these pigs. They didn't want to live with their parents for the rest of their lives. No, not these brothers. Not the classic barley and late growth for them. They had standing. They had taste. They had discernment. Little wisdom, of course. But I found that wisdom is a little needed commodity in the world when you have the right upbringing and ancestry. So they wanted to move out. Scouring the internet and the local ad sites and realtor sites, they came across an ad for a 3-bedroom cottage that seemed to suit their purposes. On the southern end of town it was, in a neighborhood that just upgraded through gentrification. So they contacted the realtor and viewed the place. Kind of windy through the walls, isn't it? Bob asked the realtor, looking at the gap-strewn walls, standing in the middle of the living room, feeling a slight breeze coming through them. Oh, that's just fresh air, chattered the realtor, supreme in her estimation of how to proffer the place to the brothers. It's made of the finest organic tweed and sage branches, grown especially on the banks of the clear waters of the River Piddleston, guaranteed non-GMO and pesticide-free. Great, said Hob. Fantastic, said Nob. It's made of sticks, muttered Bob, but the other two brothers and the realtor ignored him. We'll take it, said Hob. So they paid the deposit and moved in. A week went by with no real issues for the brothers, other than a distressing tendency to hear slight creaks and groans as the wind, ever present from the plains of the Yin-Yang tree farm across the River Piddleston, blew through their walls. It did make starting a cook fire in the kitchen rather chancy. Of course, so did the stick-based walls, but one must put up with some obstacles in life to attain one's goals, mustn't one? Now that purveyor of pork, that sampler of swine, that baster of boars, that gourmet of groats and shoats, that feeder upon fars, look it up. I'm here to tell you a story, not to educate you. The Howling Horror, or as he's called in some circles, the Big Bad Wolf, found out about this. He'd been wanting to capture these three young porcine lads for years, and subject them to many things, usually involving spices and baking pans and knives. So he politely knocked on their door. For as we all know, some of the worst monsters in the world can be polite, can't they? Bob smelled the Big Bad Wolf, hereafter in the legal document referred to as the injured party or the BBW, see section 426, paragraph C1, notation 42. He was easily able to identify him because while the BBW was known for his appetite, he was definitely not known for his hygienic splendor. Bob peeked to the keyhole and saw the BBW standing on their doorstep.